this spot will be perfect. No widow makers. Oh, I've got a little dead branch here. Give it a shake, get rid of it. There we go. Lovely. Cool. I'm not in a dip and I'm not facing west. I'm not facing my prevailing wind, so perfect. Just got to clear the area, and let's get the tarp shelter built. Hey, how you doing over there? Thanks for joining me in the woods again. This is Nick. Oh, yeah, so I figured today, let's show you a nice, quick and easy way to make tarp shelters, and show you a few of the configurations. I think as bushcrafters and survivalists, a lot of us get focused on this knot, that knot, paracord for this, paracord for that. But really, do we need all this paracord? There's a quicker and simpler way of setting up your tarp shelters, and I'm going to show you this right now. So stay tuned. So by no means am I saying don't learn knots, don't learn your cordage techniques, because you know what, those techniques are some of the key skills to know out when you're out in the woods. But why not save your paracord, save doing all the knots and doing all the tedious stuff for the fun stuff? Why not use something that's a lot quicker, a lot more simple to pull up and bring down? The simple bungee. I used to use these in the military when I used to hang up our simple lean-to shelters and wedge shelters. They have many uses. They're not only just using for your tarp shelters, but you can use them on your tripods to hang your pots off. You can hang them up on a tree as a washing line. Also, you can put them around your backpack to hang extra stuff off, hang extra gear off, or even cam your backpack up if you want to. So they have many uses in the woods, and that's just a couple of them I figured I'd go through with you. So now, how quickly can I set a tarp up with this? Let's find out. So as you can see, that was just a smidge over a minute. 2 bungees, 2 tent pegs. I have myself a pretty nice lean-to shelter right there. Of course, I can always, if I had a bit more time, I can make it a bit tighter. I can add a couple more bungees to it. I can actually play around with it however much I want, make it nice and comfortable. But that proved my point. Nice and quick to set up. It leaves you a lot more time to play around in the woods and enjoy yourself, instead of spending all that time setting up a shelter, tying these different knots. I mean, some people, it's nice to do that now and again. I do it a lot. I like to play with paracord and knots, but bungees are just something I've always been familiar with, and I figured I'd share that one with you today. So next thing, let's show you a few more tarp configurations with this. So let's go through a couple of simple shelters for you with tarps. This one here is your most simple of the lot, apart from draping the thing over the top of you, of course, which you can do too, but that's only a good temporary short-term shelter. But this one here, this is your simple lean-to shelter. Gets you out of the elements pretty quickly, as long as you take into account which way the wind's blowing and which way the wind's coming, the rain is coming in. Cons: it's open on 3 sides. It's open here, open at the front, and open at this side here too. So if the wind changes, if the rain changes direction, things are going to get wet. This is a nice deep tarp, so it's going to take a lot to do that. So what you can do is also, you can put your tie-off points a bit further back here and have a bit of an angle there, and that can protect you. You can bring the corners down a little lower and just have the center coming up. That turns it into a bit more of a wedge shape shelter then. I'm going to demonstrate that one in a minute. But yeah, typically I only like to use the lean-to shelter for short-term temporary shelters, to be honest. If I'm going to spend time anywhere overnight, I'd rather a wedge shelter, something that covers me on 3 sides. So then I don't need to worry about which way the weather's going to go, because I'm basically covered. And then I use my backpack or another tarp to close in the main door if I need to. So let's this is a low down wedge shelter. As you can see, you're covered on all three sides at the back there, and you only have the one entrance into it. Typically you would slide in and have your feet at the back and have your head closer to the door, and you can always block the door off with your backpack or a secondary tarp. Also in the summertime or the winter time, you can always raise it up a little bit higher, and you can have a fire at the front, and the heat will get nicely trapped on the inside and circulate through the inside. So this is a great little shelter for the winter time and for the horrible weather months, and this is one of my favorites. So all I've done here, I'll show you right now, is it's got 5 tent pegs, one in the center at the back there, 2 left, 2 right at the back, 1 left, 1 right, and then 3 bungees I've suspended between 2 trees, made my suspension line, and then I put the one bungee from the main center line there. Of course you can do this with 1 bungee. If you've got a tree right here, you can just do it with 1 bungee, but I didn't have a tree right there, so I figured let's do it this way and show that off. So that's another configuration. That's with 3 bungees and 5 tent pegs. So that's your simple wedge shelter. So this is a slightly modified version of the wedge shelter. I've employed the paracord tie-off point, and I've used the bungees there to pull that tight against the 2 trees. And also my 4th bungee is up the front here. This is another great shelter for the colder months. As you can see, very apt for this weather. We've got a lovely light snowfall coming down now, just floating down nice and gently. Stunning day to be in the woods. But yeah, this shelter will be able to house 3 people, nice and comfortable. You could have a small fire at the front here, and the heat would circulate in there nicely. And you know what, when you wanted to close her up for the night and you've only got 2 people in there, all I would have to do, get inside, unhook the 1 bungee, and of course I've got another tent peg with me, shut it down, and there you go. Just peg out this bit here, and I have a nice enclosed pyramid type shelter. So I'm holding this one up so you can get a good gist of it. But this again, this is covering you on 2 sides. This is a good shelter for probably this is early summer or late summer, when you don't know whether the weather's going to turn bad, but there's a good chance it's going to be warm. So you want a bit more breeze coming through, well, this is one of the good shelters for you. That'll cover you from all the weather and the rain, and you have a hell of a lot of space inside there. I'm holding it because I've got no tie-off point to show you. Look at this, winter wonderland. So that was a couple of tarp configurations for you. I could sit there all day and show you different tarp configurations, but that would be a very boring video. So get out, test your tarps, test your tarp configurations, try the bungees out. Like I said, they're nice and easy. I enjoy using them, even though I do like using the paracord most of the time, but the bungees are a nice quick idea for you. And just get out and practice, see what you prefer. Everything in bushcraft, like knives, saws, tarps, tarp configurations, it's all about personal preference. What works for you in different situations. And the only way you're going to know that is by getting out into these beautiful woods and testing it out. So hopefully that was very helpful for you. Just a word note, I may be a little bit quieter than I have been over this next month. The simple reason is I'm moving house. Well, I'm not moving house, moving out of a house into a trailer, and that is another bit of news I'm going to have for you in the near future, because I'm planning some other adventures and things like that. So stay tuned for that, and you'll be seeing more in the coming future. But I don't want to let too much on right now because it's in the early days yet. What else? Please like, share, and of course subscribe. Press my logo. Should be down in the bottom right hand corner right now. I'm going to try and time that right this time. I'm still learning my editing, so right hand corner. And yeah, click on that if you haven't already subscribed. And please help me out. So if you like my content, tell your friends, tell your family, share it, because I want to get these skills out of people and get them out in the woods enjoying themselves, because everyone should be out here enjoying this. So thanks very much, and enjoy the woods, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.